Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to another episode of the Science of Farming podcast. I'm Sister Rashida Muhammad, joined by Sister Melody and Brother Francis. So excited to have everyone join us today. Audience, as usual, at the end of the show, towards the end, listen very closely to what we're talking about so that you can go ahead and put your questions in the chat for us, and we'll get to your questions as quickly as we can. To those who are coming in, giving the greetings, Assalamu alaikum. I'll open up as usual in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. All praise is due to Allah. I bear witness there's no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. I greet each of you in the greeting words of peace and paradise of Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Praise be to Allah. Brother Francis, thank you so much for joining us. Brother Francis, you're on mute, so you can unmute your phone if you can. Okay, good. All right, so Sister Melody, look who we have. We are so blessed.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I will always start out with you, yielding to you, so that we can go ahead and get the show on the road with Brother Francis. Because listen, I was excited to learn about this brother and his beautiful wife, Sister Aisha. I met her a couple of weeks ago, and I'm telling you, she melted my heart. And of course, we're here to do what the minister has asked us to do, which is to grow our own food. So this very small show, we just do our little small piece to encourage the believers and anyone who's watching the show. Get started. You don't have to plant a whole field of food. Get started with one barrel or one basket of whatever you want to plant at a time. So we just hope this show encourages the believers to do so. And I know that you all are going to be so inspired by Brother Francis' testimony today. So Sister Melody, take it away.
Yes, ma'am. So yes, again, we are honored and privileged to have you, brother, because although you said you just getting started, what you have done, some people haven't done in years. So we are looking forward to you sharing, some of the things that, got you into just, farming, whether or not, you grew up farming or gardening, as we call it. But yeah, please share your testimony with us, Brother Francis. And we have some questions as you go through some of how you got started.
And Brother Francis, if you don't mind, if I can just jump in, first tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, as always, start off with salutations in the name of Allah, Beneficent and Merciful. We thank you for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and we thank you for the man and the Messiah in our midst, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So again, I greet you, Sister Melody, and greet you, Sister Rashida, and all your lovely guests with the greeting words of peace and paradise. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
Well, I'm originally from Washington, D.C., and I was kind of like almost born in the nation, because my father was in the nation and in the early 50s, and I was at the Uline Arena actually to see the most Elijah Muhammad. So I'm telling on myself a little bit. So, and in my community, Mosque number 4, the first one that was built, was right there in my community. So the nation was very prevalent in our neighborhood, very strong, because all the people that I knew, family members, they were all in the mosque. They was all in the nation. So I kind of grew up with the nation. And when I got registered, I felt like I was already registered, And so I never knew, this thing farming, because I come from the hard knock streets of DC, and I never thought about gardening, it wasn't or farming. It wasn't until I actually came into the nation. And then I guess years later, when the minister really started, talking about farming and gardening and the benefit of it, and that's when I started actually hearing and obeying. And I wanted to just get land and say, okay, I'll get the land, and my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren will benefit from it if we teach them, or my daughter and my son-in-law, would teach them, and then they could grow on the land and they could do what they need to do on the land. And as time flew on, we got the land and we moved to Georgia. And one of the first things that we came upon was Brother Ghazi Muhammad, he had a nice uh, venue, expo, and I was looking at all the believers coming out, and I was like, wow, man, they were so at peace, and they had all the different workshops, and I found myself being at peace, and I kind of already knew Sister Melody, and I'm watching everything. I look over on the side, they got Sister Melody over there planting garlic. I'm like, I'm intrigued. Now then I find myself at peace.
Yes.
I'm sitting there, and I went and got some carrots. So Brother Ghazi had a horse, and I got to feeding the horse the carrots, and I guess it was just something that just came over me, the love from that horse and him eating from my hand. And my granddaughter was there, and then she fed the horse, and it just kind of blossomed from there. And I said, I'm gonna plant something on this land, but I never could get a chance to plant on the land. So I got some seeds from Dr. Richmond, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, every time I go on the land, because we don't have water on the land. So I'm like, wait till I get this well, and then I'm gonna do my thing. But I just couldn't get it done at that time. So I'm in my backyard one day, and I was looking at the seeds. I said, you know what? I'm planting something right here. So I started going on YouTube, and I knew about from some of the workshops and things that the soil had to be right. So I bought soil, I bought black cows, and I started mixing it, and just through YouTube videos and things. And I started with little seeds. And man, that stuff got to growing. I couldn't believe it. I fell in love. I was going out there 2 or 3 times a day just watching it. I couldn't believe that it was growing, and I think you may have pictures of it. And I spend when I get off work, I spend most of my evenings, in my garden.
Wow.
It is peaceful. Yes, peaceful.
Yes, ma'am. So I can tell you almost to the flower, of what's blooming now. We got okra now. We got squash. We don't have no tomatoes. We got big corn stalks, but no corn on it yet. But it's real pretty and green. So that's my love affair with it, and I know, that is like a microcosm of what I want to do on my land. I want to just be able to see it so beautifully organized and green, so I can show the believers and people that, with this land, we can feed and we can do for self, with healthy living. And, it's my last little point. I know from the minister's articles in the final call, the war against obesity. It is so real for us, and I commend you all, both of you all, for leading the way, with how to eat to live, because some of the diseases that our people go through, they can be prevented just through the way we eat, and just you all leading the charge, and very, very noble, big thing. So I applaud you, for just doing that. So with that, you can fire away. So that's about my quest with that garden.
Yes, sir. That is an amazing story. And Brother Francis, when you were talking about planting and seeing those plants come up for the first time, we were sharing. Listen, it's almost like watching a new baby, right? If you've never seen it before,
Right.
It almost just takes your breath away when you see it. It is so very inspiring, which is why we encourage the believers to plant something. Go get you some seeds. You told a beautiful testimony. You just put the seeds in the ground.
Yes.
And you didn't have any experience. And look at the benefit you reap. And you know what? It makes me think of Allah so much more, and how much He's prepared for us in that little seed. we give so little effort to reach such a bountiful, harvest, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I mean, I have maybe like 4 little rows. I think it's maybe like a 4 by 6, you know, and maybe 4 horizontally, but 4 by 6 vertically. And it's so much food that can be produced from that little
Right.
space, and that
Right.
amazed me. I mean, I've with the okra, I've seen okra grow, and
Mhm.
okra is a very, very healthy vegetable. Some people don't
Mhm.
like it. I started liking it now because I'm growing it. I'm
Right.
eating it, So I'm like, yeah, I fell in love with okra because I'm growing it. So,
Yes.
but
I
it's
just
very,
ate some.
very healthy. Yeah. So I was I was intrigued by all those things. So I'm like, man, come on, man, you can do it. You put the seed in the ground, do the proper preparations, and let God do the rest.
I know. It's such a beautiful relationship.
Yes,
Such a beautiful relationship. And so, what we're going to do, we're going to talk a lot more, but what I want to do is jump into the pictures that we do have, and we do have some video. So, I'll let you do some little commentary, but if we can go ahead and show that first video, because it speaks to what you were talking about, Brother Francis, with just getting that soil prepped. And once we bring that picture up, if you can talk to us a little bit about that prepping process.
yes, man.
I'm so amazed too.
Me too.
Yeah, that right there, that's the space. And
Yes.
see how small the corn is. It's just coming up, and I was like, when I saw that part, I was like, oh wow. But then all the way on the end, you saw those. I was really impressed with those. I think it's celery. I actually was just planting everything. I was
Yes.
everywhere. I didn't know what was good. So it's some things all bunched in together. I was just planting. But
Yes, sir.
yes, ma'am. And what I wanted to do is make sure it was organized. So as down in Georgia, everything looks so beautiful and organized, and the way the roads are so beautiful. I said, I'm gonna do mine like that. I don't want no sloppy God, you know.
Right.
So so that was basically from the seeds. It started with seeds in the ground. As you know, I
Mhm.
didn't even have no cover over them, because
Right.
I didn't want to hinder that. I said, I'll pull the weeds myself, so I knew that part. So that's where I started at right there. That's the
So let
beauty.
me ask you, did you prep the soil, or you just literally just put it in the ground?
No, ma'am. I did prep the soil. What I did, as I looked at YouTube videos, and I laid cardboard.
Yes.
I laid brown cardboard under the bottom, and I soaked it wet. Soaked it wet. And then I took a mixture of black cow fertilizer and compost and
Hmm.
some soil and some good soil. And I mixed it. And I mixed it. And I started, and then once I mixed it, I started creating rows before I
Mm.
planted. Started creating those rows, you see. Then I looked at the spacing on the packages that Dr. Ridgely had given me for
Right.
the distance of the plant. So I
Right.
followed those instructions, and then I basically made the rows with what was it? It was like a little. I used something to make it like a little straight row and made sure I had it propped up enough. Then I started dropping the seeds. So I have beets there. On the back row is corn. On the second row it's beets and it's cucumbers and it's squash, and then there's zucchini and tomatoes, and then you got okra and you got cantaloupe. I just started,
Wow.
yeah,
You went all out.
yeah, I was just doing it, and when I saw the green, I fell in love. I was bragging on that thing. I was happy.
Well, we have another picture. Let's show that next picture of the garden actually grown up. And I'm telling you, look at that. Look at
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that old green,
Praise
that
be
old
to Allah.
DC, right?
Yes, okay. Praise be to Allah. I see that beautiful corn stalk back there in the back.
You see?
Yes, sir. And I see you have those marigolds off to the side, right?
Yes, ma'am. I have that in with tomatoes. They say they're good to grow with tomatoes as companion plants. All these
Right.
things I learned from Brother Ghazi at his expo, and listening to Sister Melody on some things. I mean, I took a lot of information from everybody,
Right.
from them being on social media. I would learn from, and brother, oh my goodness, and Brother Brother
Yes.
Patrick Muhammad. Man, look, please forgive me, Brother Patrick. He inspired me. He inspired me the most. I went on his
Mhm.
farm. I went on his
You
farm, and he treated me and my family so wonderful. Now I work with him in other areas of our nation, and but his hospitality, him and his wife and his family,
Absolutely.
some of the most beautiful believers you ever want to encounter. And
Yes.
absolutely.
he definitely helped me every step of the way. Thank you so much for reminding me about my brother, and blame it on my head and not my heart, because he is an inspiration and one of the most helpful brothers in our nation on farming. And he'll do anything and everything he can to help you along. And
Absolutely.
that's part of it. And that beautiful, those big, beautiful green leaves, I'm happy. I'm a proud dad.
Yes, sir. And we have had Brother Patrick and Brother Ghazi on the show. So
Yes,
listen, we bear witness to beautiful, beautiful brothers
man.
who are working out in this field. And so what we do have is a video actually of this garden that your wife sent us. So if we could play that video now.
Assalamu alaikum. From seeds to garden. It's the corn. Remember when it was just seeds? Of course, your marigolds and the bagel. Look at the tomato plants. Look at the okra plants. Praise be to us. Look at the squashes. The budding. Got some squash here. They coming along just fine. Let me see if I can find you some. Look up under there. Let me see. Look at there. Look at that squash right there. Oh boy. Inshallah, I'll be getting some squash. Yeah. Still got the corn, the tomatoes, the zucchini. I don't care if I get one squash. I'm happy as I don't know what. You know? Yeah,
Yes.
man. Like I said, you don't need much.
Wow,
Beautiful,
Brother
right?
Francis, I'm telling you, wait till your wife. I don't know if y'all got to the part where you can see the flower on the okra. She'll fall
Yes.
in love with that alone, right?
Yes.
It
Yes.
has one of the most beautiful flowers in the world on that okra plant. And when you
Yes.
talked about that corn, brother, one thing all of us gonna learn from gardening is patience.
Yes.
Mhm.
We're gonna learn that. And
Yes.
that's why I think the
Absolutely.
Lord, He wants us all to be hopefully involved in this piece because we all eat, you
Yes.
know. So I know we got like 9 minutes, but we haven't even discussed what you're doing now, because I think what you have done now is like so amazing and so sustainable that we it makes so much sense what y'all doing. Can you share a little bit of that? I know we have to have you again.
Yeah,
Oh,
and we do have some pictures too to share on that, Sister Melody. But go ahead, Brother Francis.
well, what we're doing now, we're preparing the land, and we're preparing the land to invite the believers and those who are interested in coming and learning. And we want to be able to, invite the professionals again, like you all and the Brother Patrick, and so we can show the beliefs and show our people, the value of land and the value of growing your own and being independent. And we're working towards these things now, and we're working to bring everybody together collectively so we can, do this thing community wise. and that's our objective. And we just want to see the believers successful. And once they see the benefit of these teachings, and you don't know until you try. You don't know until you see that it's been done. Like I can bear witness. When you bear witness, that is really telling you I've done it. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm looking at your son-in-law in the chat, and he says, Assalamu alaikum, this is your son-in-law. I didn't even know you had all that back there. Next trip is our backyard.
Yeah. And he's a remarkable young man. He has bees, on our land. He has a beehive there, and he's managing his beehive, and he's also a very, very beautiful speaker, motivational speaker, and it's a whole family thing. Even my granddaughter and my grandson, they love to speak too, and so it's a family thing, and that's the root of my goal. It's my babies, my children, my grandchildren, and my great grandchildren, and they inspire me more just to make it happen. Because for me now, I'll be 70 next year. And so for me now,
it's need to live. You looking good.
All praises due to Allah. It's all about, nurturing them me and my wife's example. And before I go any further, I want to just speak about my wife, how helpful she is. She's the one pushes me. She's the real force in this family, and I'd be remiss not to. Ain't like it's me, she's the frontiersman, and she's so that is what motivates me and push me, because I'm not a really out there person, a talkative person, but when you talk about the teachers and when you talk about this gardening, you can see me now, right? It's hard to stop.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's a beautiful thing. Now, Brother Francis, because our time is really short, but I got to get to these next few pictures. I mean, you all have done a wonderful job. So let's go back to the pictures very quickly. And then we have a question also from our audience.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So look at that. Look at her. Praise Allah.
Yeah.
Look at her. So what is she doing right there, Brother Francis?
Well, actually, she's tilling.
Yes.
She's tilling, and that big old machine right there, she moving it. Now, this is where she is really, really a warhorse at. She used the zero turn. She used the tiller. She's the founder of the tree initiative. We have the tree initiative with about 40 or so fruit trees, and it was all participants who gave. Sister Melody has supported the initiative, and if you can see,
we're going to show the next picture.
Yeah,
because I think we have a snapshot of that. Actually, there it is. That's one of the trees, right?
One of the trees, and they're much bigger now. They're much bigger, and they're growing so beautifully. That's my son-in-law there, I believe. And he's helping plant the trees, but it is so beautiful now. And hopefully we'll be able to send pictures back, present pictures of how the orchid is going now. But
so
that's
yes, sir.
Brother Francis, are you a tree tender at all?
Yeah, I do. I help. I help a lot, but I have to say this because she puts so much work into it.
Right.
So, I'm really her assistant, because she puts that work in.
Right. No, there is actually a group called Tree Tenders in different communities, and I'm a tree tender. So if you ever have any questions on where the flare is on the tree, so you never want to plant the tree root under the flare. You always want the flare to show. But I'll get into that at another time with you. But what y'all doing in terms of having the community invest themselves is like the best thing I've heard in a long time, because I'm telling you, if people don't see the value themselves and invest in it, then how they think we're going to do all of this by ourselves, especially without borrowing money from other people, like, you know, banks and stuff like that. So that part that y'all doing there, I think that's one of the best things, you know, out. And of course, when these trees produce, I mean, we could just hit you up and come and
Yes.
you sell them and everything else.
Yes, and so we have one final video, and then we'll start to close out. We'll answer our question after this quick video. So go ahead and let's see this video, and it is all inspiring to anyone who wants to purchase land. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that piece.
Yes. And that's an aftercut, you know, that my wife had cut. She cut all that.
With that zero turn.
Yeah, she cut all that without zero turn. She get on that zero turn. I'm thinking she on the turnpike. You know,
I love it.
You know, she do her thing, and when it's cut like that, the maintenance of the land, it shows the beauty of the land. So always, you know, try to maintain your land like you maintain your home, like you maintain your family, you know, because it's part of you, you know. And so I want people to be inspired. I want them to see the beauty in the clouds, the beauty in the green of the trees and the grass. You know, this is what we come from. So, and it brings about peace in our life. So, you know, it's so much benefit that we don't get to have, you know, being in those cities and, you know, being so cluttered up, and sometimes you need to get away, you know. So, and that's the beehive there.
Yes, I see it.
That's the beehive there. So all these things, then as we incorporate each other in our family to be a part of this, it brings us so much closer together. And next weekend, we're gonna have a little barbecue out there, you know.
Oh, wonderful.
And you're all invited. You don't need no invitation. Come on, you invited.
I might just take you up on that.
I know, that's right. Well, we've got about 1 minute, so let's see if we can tap into our question, because we don't want to leave our audience hanging. So let's see if we can look. All right, here's our question box. Oh, Sister Maria, assalamu alaikum. It says, what is the best soil to purchase when you don't have the option of composting?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Rosie, you want to jump in on that?
Again, usually those extension programs, wherever you at, they will guide you, or some of the nurseries you can buy compost from. And that's what we do, because it takes years for you to, you know, grow and, you know, compost your own, to the point where it depends on how much, you know, space you have and you're using. But, you know, unfortunately, some of it you have to pay for it, and some of it is free. And brother, you did all this just self-taught. It's awesome.
Praise
Absolutely.
Praise
Absolutely. And so that we thank you so much, Sister Maria, for the question on where is the garden located, beloved? I think that garden was in the back of your home, right?
That's in the back of my home. I mean, in my backyard, a little space that you saw the size of it, but it's producing so much food. So you need a lot of space. You know, you just start where you are. If you got a little space, even if it's with herbs, you know, and then you extend your mind, and then you'll be able, and you'll start wanting to learn more. So just try your hand, and you'll see, with Allah, you'll be successful.
Praise be to Allah. What a beautiful note. Brother Francis, you and your wife are a jewel to our nation, a jewel to our show. We thank you so much, sir. And if you don't mind, at some point, we would love to have you back again.
We have to.
It'll be my pleasure. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So much. Allah.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So we ask everyone to please continue to support this show on Closing the Gap broadcast. We have our information that's flowing down below. Please join us next week for another beautiful and exciting show. I greet all of you all in the greeting words of peace and paradise, and look forward to welcoming you all again next week. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.